Little bitches. Oh my god.
Take
Triple
two.
Nexus, it's been 2 months since I've laid my absolute astronomic peen on the table. We got MD, we got Golfer Gabriel having a nighttime sippy sip, and we got Nerd Daddy in this motherfucker, bro. Oh, ND's having, is that a nighttime sippy sip, or is that like
Nah,
a
just
drink,
soda.
bro?
Not just soda.
Pussy. Okay, no, I'm just kidding. Welcome back, yo. We got a lot to talk about. It's been a long time. We're gonna get y'all back with weekly episodes. We promise. Life is busy, you know. ND's studying to be like actually have a life. Like Golfer's our guest for probably the 7th time. You know what I mean? Like Golfer's is always welcome
Hey,
back.
quadruple Nexus.
It's been 4 quadruple Nexus type shit, bro. Burns has the flu. Burns will be back. All right, let's fucking get into this shit. There's a lot to talk about. And I think let's talk about with one of the most relevant animes and topics that are here right now. JJK. Now, we could talk about the story implications of JJK and make this a 15-second podcast. Just kidding, Golfer. I know you actually make the long videos about Sukuna versus Goda. There's actual shit to talk about. But let's talk about agenda. You know what I mean? There's wars that are happening, and it seems as though every time something is popular, every single time, there's always some sort of beef with One Piece fans. Happened with JJK, with Maki, and One Piece fans. Happened as soon as Dragon Ball Super got announced that they're doing fucking the next season. I see people talking.
Happened with solo leveling.
All over Twitter. With solo leveling, it happens like
Upvoted episode.
fucking clockwork. So now we have a lot of JJK fans turning around and saying that if Oda wrote Maki, she would be sexualized. If Oda wrote Maki, Maki would not be a good character. If Oda wrote Maki, she'd be in the Epstein files. So what do we have to say about that? ND, I want to hear your point. What do you have to say about the female cast or the woman cast comparative to JJK versus One Piece? What do you have to say about if Oda would have written Maki? Would the design be different? How would the character writing be different? Let me hear your take, you sexy man.
At first, I wanted to defend it. I was gonna defend One Piece, bro, because I like One Piece infinitely more than JJK, bro. Like for me, JJK was so hard. It's so hard for me to get into because it's just like a Naruto and Bleach clone, and you know, like I hate reading shit that is similar to something that I already have read. So like, I'm already on the One Piece side. But when I was looking at the fucking like the designs of if Oda drew Maki, I'm not gonna lie, it's low key true. Like I can't even cap. It's high key true, bro. Like Oda do be sexualizing the hell out of his characters. I mean, like he does a lot of good things. This is one of those things where it's like the only other shonen series that I can think of that has it worse is fucking Fairy Tail, because like Oda, that man fully gave us a tutorial on how to sexualize characters, bro. That dude did not give a fuck. However, when it does come to the writing aspect of it, I think. From what I know about JJK, I am a TikTok reader. I'm not gonna lie. I read the series through Tizzy videos, so like I don't know. I don't know. I don't know the details. I know the overall story. I don't know that Oda would write Maki better. I feel like Maki is already pretty good as is. Like I don't really know how much better you can make it. You know, people keep making this argument that like, oh, like the fucking Sanji's lighter has better writing than Maki. Like, bro, you're dragging it. Maki is a well-written character. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, do I think Oda could do his magic and like elevate it? Maybe like he could have elevated it through adding more context for the Zenin clan, maybe adding more history, adding more lore, building it up over the course of the story, maybe integrating her in a little bit of fire.
That's kind of sexy. What the fuck?
That's Sanji's
Integrating her backstory a little bit more. I don't really know, but as it goes, I think that Maki's pretty good in terms of writing. So I maybe Oda could have elevated it a little bit, but it's not. I don't agree that Oda would have like made it infinitely better. But when it comes to the design, the designs are pretty hit or miss when it comes to female characters in One Piece. If it was pre-time skip, then I would say that the memes are dragging it. But like as it is currently in One Piece, Oda would sexualize the fuck out of it. I can't even lie to you.
Oh shit, golfer.
Here's my thing about every time something happens, someone has to take a swing at One Piece.
Yes.
You can sit in the throne when the king's away, but you can't wear the crown. Like One Piece is on top.
Where's the soundboard? Where's the soundboard on that?
Oh my god!
Where's the
that shit made me
soundboard?
hard as fuck. sorry.
you
I'm
can.
French.
One Piece is the thing
I
that
gotta get
everybody
the sound
has
bite
to
here.
gauge against, and there is validity 100% in Oda over sexualizing characters. Like there's like as even as the biggest One Piece glazers on the planet, you cannot combat that.
Yep.
And stop
But
saying
the
it's Toei. It's not Toei, bro. Oda draws that
Yo,
shit.
Yo, stop. Stop.
But Maki is like she's a phenomenal character, but Gege has his misses within JJK for his women as well. He completely sidelines a main character and then brings her back out of nowhere.
With 3 chapters left to go in the fucking story. Like,
And an eye patch
legitimately.
acting like everybody wasn't acting like she was. Maki is like a pinnacle example of like this is about as awesome as it gets to write. Not even just like a woman, but like just as a character. Like, we'd be
yeah,
glazing
as a
a character for
Badass,
doing what
yeah.
Maki did and the story around it, and then like the elevation by the animation, because that's like, you know, it's all builds into itself.
Right.
But Oda has his examples, like even with like Elbaf and Robin's like character arc of eventually meeting Arc again or meeting Saul again with her friends and going back to her old haircut. It's not the same as murdering your entire clan, which is badass, but also it's emotionally impactful in the same way. Oda has the chops. Why does Robin have to look like that every single arc?
So ND
I don't mind
ND
it as
hang
much with
posters up of
Robin.
Robin in his fucking room. That's why.
I don't mind it as much with
Right.
Robin because she's an adult and it's like, all right, whatever, man. Like that, you know, it is what it is. It's when it's, you know, you start Bonnie being 12 years old, Rebecca, and the amount of times I've heard people be like, well, Rebecca was forced into that outfit. And I was like, yeah, but Oda wrote the story. Okay, like he didn't have to do that. And I don't think it adds enough to Dressrosa to justify it.
Right.
So, like, everybody wants to gauge against One Piece, but the best meme we saw was if Oda wrote, or if, what was it? If Oda wrote JJK and it was the super colorful cast. That was my favorite one.
I saw
That
that.
was the best one.
That shit's funny.
That was like, you know what? If you're gonna take a swing at Oda for anything, it's the goofy fucking and
I
Bogart
saw the one.
got
I
it.
saw one where they like blacked out the entire Sukuna silhouette and just like showed just the eyes. And they were
Oh my
like,
god, that ass.
that guy.
And
You would
Bogart
see
got
Gojo
it.
versus Sukuna, and Sukuna would be the silhouette the whole time. Like, that ass.
100%. And Bogart guy is off in the corner right now, being like, "I swear to God, guys, somebody's gonna have a good color scheme one of these days." Like he's like, one
I'm
of the Holy
fucking
Knights is gonna look
crying,
cool. I promise.
Yeah, Sommers is gonna be fucking. Yeah. All right. Here's my take. Andy, I completely agree with you. I will never, when it comes to One Piece, I will defend the writing. I will never defend Oda's fucking Gunner Susibaka activities ever. The way he drew, like the character design for his women, you don't need to do that shit, bro. His relationship with the author of Rurouni Kenshin, what the fuck are you doing, dog? Like there's gonna be a police squad car outside of his house the second that the chapter that the One Piece, like what the One Piece is, drops. He's gonna be put into some sort of prison. And I would be the first person to admit, as the biggest One Piece glazer, absolutely. The way, now, in these fandom wars, people be saying some shit, you know what I mean? Like, turn around and be like, the JJK women cast is better than the One Piece. Yeah, dude, stop. Maki is fantastic. Like Golfer said, she's the pinnacle of the JJK women writing. You know what I'm saying? She's
But
the
do you-
pinnacle
okay,
of,
would you say-
JJK character writing?
Would you say Maki? Would you say Maki is better than like Nami and Robin? Or no?
Better, different. I would
Like,
feel like
would you
they're
say as
all
good,
in the
or, like,
same
okay.
tier.
Put 'em in the
Yes,
same tier.
yes, like
Same
the
tier.
same tier for sure. And a lot of the other women in JJK get dropped off as the story goes along. Like Yuki did. There's the woman who fell in love with like Mekamaru. She had that character arc. Where the fuck did she go after the rest of it? Nobody knows. There's like shining moments that just get paved for the leeway of the men that are in like JJK, you know what I mean? Like Kirora had her shining moments. Yeah, let's go. Like representation in the best way possible, where she's not the caricature of a joke, making sure everybody knows that she's a transgender character, with it being said, you know what I mean, it being acknowledged. But then it's like, this is a respectable character, and it's kind of it. We see her like curse technique, and then it paves way for Hikari and everything else, you know what I mean. And with One Piece, the women still have like shining moments. A lot of the criticisms that I've been seeing is that they need to be saved, they're damsels in distress all the time, which I don't necessarily agree with, because the whole point of the story is Joy Boy liberating everybody, perchance.
Right.
Everybody who's a Straw Hat has been saved and liberated by Luffy, and continue to be saved and liberated by Luffy. The Monster Trio has taken themselves and put themselves like above, you know what I mean, and now can do the saving. But in order to get on that journey, everybody, even Sanji up through Whole Cake Island, needed to be saved and liberated by Luffy, like, at that point when he went there. You know what I'm saying? And that's not like, sure, absolutely, Robin and Nami need to be saved a little bit more than everybody else. I'll admit that. But Robin had her shining moment in fucking Wano when she versed fucking Black Moria. You know what I'm saying? And it's like Nami starting to get power from Zeus and her and make it her own thing with her Climax Act and everything like that. Where it's these characters are kind of following the journey. Bonnie's one of my favorite characters inside of One Piece, point blank period. I think her character arc was fantastic, and I don't think it was Luffy necessarily saving her. Luffy paved the way for her to show her the future where she is the most free. And in that moment particularly, it was Bonnie in the cover, Luffy in the background. Luffy's there to support her and lift her up, but she's saving herself. And I think that's the whole point of that thing, was that she was her own liberator, and it was meant to kind of be like that. You know what I'm saying? So One Piece as a whole, I feel as though the women cast is better. However, like, Maki's up there with like the really well-written characters. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, Oda needs to work on his character design. Oda needs to work on not being in the fucking Epstein files. 1000%. And I will be the first person to say that.
One thing to throw in too, people were not glazing Maki like this through the run of JJ. This is very revisionist. This is very
100%.
much looking back. This is people that are smarter than the Leak Boys that dominated everything for so long. Like, people coming back and actually assessing the story. So, like,
and
to pretend like the JJK guys have been on top of the best written woman in Shonen in 50 years.
Close,
like,
it's
all because the anime's happening right now, and she deserves all the hype. Like, Maki deserves all this hype. But to pretend like they've been on this when this was not even a thought in there. They treated Maki like fodder during the Sukuna fight. Like, this was no respect, did not care. This is all people.
Oh, she's back again. She's just gonna get folded by
reassessing.
Sukuna.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and they were mad that she snuck Sukuna with the stab through the heart, like, as the Toji callback. Like, they pretended like that was bullshit. Like, I remember those leak nights. I was there. Like, I was in Manganimus Discord. Like, I saw all of this happening. Nobody was happy about it then. So everyone was just waiting for a certain character to come back. So to act like this has been like their shining beacon the whole time is really disingenuous, which is like a big theme in the manga and anime community.
Yeah, it's like the intellectual like readers like unironically like carry like the series. Like, you know, it's like I feel like and like low key, it's like that's why I'd be thinking like with like the One Piece stuff, right? It's like you guys will like have like some super like insightful like prediction or some super like insightful like analysis. Like, I remember like when it was like a ridiculous thing to say One Piece was political. All of a sudden when you guys started saying, all of a sudden, oh yeah, it's obvious, everybody already knew that. That's not what you guys were saying before. you know? And I feel like it's the same thing now, like you're talking about. It's like now that you guys are talking about like Maki's writing from an intellectual perspective, now everybody is acting like, yeah, we already knew that. And part of me thinks like
ridiculously annoying.
And part of me thinks like I feel like not to make it about Bleach, but I kind of feel like if we had somebody analyzing Bleach as like intellectually as like people were doing with One Piece, it would have so much more respect than it currently does.
Do you know who Zaku Zealot is?
Yeah, I do. But his
Zaku
account
is like the guy. Like
Yeah.
Like, dude, he is so brilliant with Bleach. And it does. The one thing is I have people coming into my comments like saying like Bleach is like headier than like any of the anime or manga that I talk about, and I was like, okay, but you're not Zaku. Like, you can't tell me that. Like,
Right.
I talked to that guy about Bleach. Like, what the fuck are you like? No, you don't understand it. he understands it, but
Right.
they're
That's how it
trying
is.
to-
That's how it is
they're
with.
trying to
That's how it is
parade
with One
around
Piece
his
too. It's like
intelligence.
right, exactly. That's how it is with One Piece too. It's like people will be like, "Oh yeah, this shit thing has so much depth." I'm like, "Okay, explain it." And they can't. It's like you just got off a Nerd King video, and now you're trying to like.
Hey, businessman,
That's
fuck
why
off.
the-
You're gonna act like you thought of that.
You're slandering me because you're fucking stupid. You're spewing the shit I spew, but you can't. You can't.
That's why
So
the
fuck off.
Sanji's lighter picture that everyone parades around is it has more depth.
Explain it.
There's not even words on it. It's literally scribbles. Because there is no depth to it. It's just a hot woman on his lighter. Like you're parading something around that you don't understand.
Explain
There is no
Sanji's
depth
lighter.
to this.
Explain Sanji's lighter. Explain.
It's like
Sanji's
you
lighter.
saw someone else say it, and now you're saying it, and now when someone's like, "Okay, explain it," you can't because it's not your own original thought.
Like that ass. And even with the Maki thing, like it's just like they're parading like we're JJK fans, so we're higher than thou, we're smarter than thou, we're more quote unquote progressive than thou because we have this fantastic woman character. But yet in the same breath, you're turning around and trying to power scale and saying that Toji is stronger than Maki with everything that she does. Oh, this is Toji upscale. Shut the fuck up. And then in the same breath, the very next week, you have Kirara, who turns up to be a transgender woman, and half the JJK fans are mad, turning around saying, no, but actually, she's a femboy. No, but actually, he's a guy. Actually, Hakari's gay. He's not actually...
Hikari said he's not into dudes.
Like dead ass. And they refer to Kirara as she and said, she used to be a guy. What are you talking about? So you can't turn around and try to be like, I'm holier than thou if you in the next breath are like, oh, I'm gonna ignore transgender people. Like, shut the fuck up. Shut your mouth. Wrong. You're wrong. Don't fucking comment me with that fucking bullshit. Because you're kind of just doing it to be like, we're better than One Piece fans, as every fucking fandom does when something gets popular within their shit. Oh my god!
And they
you don't
act
know
as
why
if-
it's good.
When I complained about JJK fans in this way, or basically any other fandom, and they're like, this coming from a guy with a chopper PFP, and I was like, I promise you must be new here. You have to be new here, because I've done nothing but complain about the idiots in the One Piece community for like 6 months straight.
Ever.
Like, that's all I did when I first started out, was just talk about One Piece and how people don't understand the story.
I block people every day. I block probably 5 people every day who are in my comment section. Now that I'm following, I think my favorite thing to do is block people.
Right. I totally
Not
agree.
that.
Save your
Not
sanity.
just not just
Gotta
that.
save your
to,
sanity.
to let them comment and then like they're slowly ratioing me in my reply to their comment, and I just let it build up likes a little bit, and then I fucking block their ass.
Bro, no, what I
Made a
do,
whole video about that.
bro, what
And
I
made a
yeah,
whole
if someone
thing about that.
if someone leaves a comment but it doesn't annoy me enough to block them, but it annoys me enough to be annoyed, I'm gonna let it rock. I'm gonna let you accumulate likes. I'm gonna like your comments. I'm gonna wait until your comment becomes a top comment, the #1 comment, and then I'm gonna delete your fucking comments, bro.
That ass. Like the Dragon Ball fans. That whole beef I had with Dragon Ball fans turning around, which fight would you delete? Shut the fuck up, you lying, stupid son of a bitch. Look back at those group of 4 fights. Gojo versus Sukuna, Luffy versus Kaido, Naruto versus Sasuke, and Goku versus Jiren. Which one of the 4 is getting a remake? That's my answer. Good night, sleep tight, don't let the bedbugs bite. That's it. Because that's which one you would fucking delete. And Dragon Ball fans would turn up and be like, no, but of course I delete Luffy versus Kaido because it's the worst one here. It has no story. It has no depth. It has no blah, blah, blah. Get fucked. So I'm gonna let your shit build up likes, and then I'm gonna fucking delete it because you're a piece of shit. That's what. Sorry.
Factual.
Yo,
Reach.
I can't be hype like that and keep the hype conversation going, and then you two just say nothing. Cause what the fuck
Well,
is that?
Well, because we're gonna go into a tangent if I bring this up.
You can
because-
go into a tangent. I don't give a fuck.
Well, my thing is, when I was watching that all go down, of course, you know how it is. Even when Admiral fans are trying to ratio us on Twitter, I'm standing fucking 10 toes down with you.
Bro. Always.
The thing is like, it's like Dragon Ball, and it feels like I can like observe this from the outside because I somehow didn't have this as a kid, whereas like it happened for me with Yu Yu Hakusho.
Mhm.
The attachment you gain from the thing that brings you into the medium is otherworldly.
Yeah.
And so trying to say like, oh, we'd get rid of Goku versus Jiren when you have like cartel members videotaping like 400 of them watching Goku versus Jiren and like maxing out the mic out of like freaking out. That's badass. Like these like the one thing about those is like, yeah, it can like spark a fun conversation, but it can also kind of reveal like how much people care about these certain things. And like if someone was like, yeah, if we had to delete one of like, you know, the 4 old animes, like OG Dragon Ball, Yu Yu Hakusho, Cowboy Bebop, or whatever else, and somebody said Yu Yu Hakusho, I'm flaming them. Like it's off rip. I'm like, you don't understand. Togashi created the stereotypes that all shonen anime built off. Like I'm going into a thesis, I'm fucking flipping my lid, even though it's irrational. Like all the people that were coming at you, like you can tell they just, it's such a love and adoration for it. And there are times where I feel like I need to step back and like look back at it and be like, it's pretty fucking cool to be at this stage where we can literally yap on in front of our camera, hundreds of thousands of people watch it because we just love this shit that much. And then the bonus for us is we get paid for it at the same time. Like you put all this together, like every once in a while I gotta remind myself like this shit is for fun and we're somehow making money off of it. And that's what it really showed me was like, dude, just how much people care. You know, and it's the same way we go hard for One Piece is the same exact way those people were going for Dragon Ball. And like you got to respect that. Like they were coming at you from every angle. They were, and most of them, at least for the most part, never took personal shots. At least from the big
any of the creators I was talking with, and we DM'd about it because somebody told me to kill myself in my DMs, and he was like, "Dude, what the fuck is this? Like, I'm so sorry if that came from my page." I'm like, I don't blame you in the slightest.
Bro, Gojo fans have been going nuts on me recently, bro. Oh, it's but ridiculous. Yeah, I mean that the creators kept it respectful. Yeah. It's not beef. It's just you're going at it.
It's just this disagreement.
It's just for the fun. Honestly, it's for the fucking fun of it.
Dude,
like arguing for the fun of it.
And Envy's talked about in beef with other like creators, it's more about like who gets the most likes and who gets the most comments. It's not about who's right. In my mind, when I started getting somebody to talk about the story implications of Dragon Ball Super compared to One Piece, I won. And there's no going back. Because if you can't turn around, stand on 10 toes and be like, this broke the internet, and had fucking cartel members watching the fight, why would I get rid of it? And you had to, I got you to turn around and talk about Jiren and Goku's parallels as if that holds a candle to Luffy and Kaido, as if that holds a candle to Joy Boy coming fucking back after 800 years with all of that lore or all of that story put up to it. And we all know it fucking doesn't. But I got somebody to talk about that shit. In my mind, I win. You just have to...
He's still in the mode.
Yeah,
he's still in the mode right now, Andy. He's still doing it. And this is how passionate. That's how much he loves One Piece, and it's coming out also, right now.
The thing is, like, as I've grown up, like it's just my mind's been more tilted towards the stories and being able to like step back and take my nostalgia out and be like, which story is actually better? You know what I mean? Which has brought me the feelings that I was a kid, but like right now, like on rewatch, all of that thing. But not only that, it has got me like, oh my god, this direction's amazing. Oh my god, this connection, all this lore, all this world building, like all that stuff. And that's like, for me in One Piece, Dragon Ball is what got me into anime. Dragon Ball, for sure. I played, before I watched anime, I played the Dragon Ball video games. The first ever fucking anime video game, anything I ever touched, was Dragon Ball Z Raging Blast for Xbox 360. My brother brought it home when I was like fucking 9 years old, bro. And we just played for hours and hours, beating the shit out of each other before we unlocked like any characters. It was just Goku and Vegeta. I was like, this shit is fire. What the fuck is this? And then we watched it, and like Dragon Ball Z Kai was airing on Nicktoons, bro. Channel 254. Y'all don't know about that, and telling me I don't fucking watch Dragon Ball. And
You're killing me, bro. You're making me feel so old, dude. I was playing Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi, the first one, on my PlayStation. You're making me feel so old right now.
Yeah, how old are you when that came out?
Probably like 6, 7.
Mm.
I fucking did that. My neighbor across the street had it. He had the Dreamcast to play Sonic, and then he was like, "You got to check this shit out." And it was Budokai Tenkaichi, and then I finally got my own when I had like the GameCube. I had the third one, where it was so fucking hard to beat Frieza the first time,
Oh
and
my
then you're
God,
like,
bro.
oh, the fight restarts and I have to do this again. Like, I wanted to fucking kill myself, dude.
Dude, all of those fucking games. Dude, did you ever play the Budokai Collection? They released the Budokai Collection like on Xbox, and it was Budokai 1, 2, and 3, bro. And it was kind of more like a fighter, the Dragon Ball Fighters, except it was more 3D. Like it kind of rotated a little bit.
It kind of
But
moves at like 2.5D or
Holy
whatever
shit,
it is.
bro! When you're fucking doing the Piccolo special beam cannon with Raditz, and you're like holding fucking Raditz down, and you have to spin the goddamn controller like this over and over, and you have to like keep Raditz in, and then the amount of times I fucking lost. Yo, like that's my childhood, but I'm at a point in my life where I can disconnect that and turn around and appreciate which story is like actually better. Maybe that's from studying fucking stories all of my life, and that's literally just what I went to school for years and years and years and years to finally have that appreciation. But you're kind of right in the fact that like so many people can't separate that. Like they just.
But what
can't.
if someone were to say? What if someone were to say, let's say, Goku versus Frieza instead of Goku versus Jiren? Then what?
See, that's way
It almost, I think
crazier.
it makes that harder. I think that makes
That's
that.
1,000 times
I think that makes that
harder.
question way harder.
I honestly, it's either Gojo versus Sukuna or Luffy versus Kaido that I'm getting rid of in those
Okay.
in this
Fair.
sentence. I know Gojo versus Sukuna is like the penultimate fight of JJK. Maybe because it's not animated, that would be my first thing. But also like Luffy versus Kaido is not the penultimate fight of One Piece. I know it like brought Gear 5 and like Joy Boy back and everything. That would be something I would like actually have to think about because Goku versus Frieza is like the anime fight.
The anime fight.
And it also has so much of a better story, so much of a better build-up. It literally is all of Goku's character from the start of Dragon Ball
Right.
to that point of Dragon
Right.
Ball Z. All of his Saiyan heritage, learning to assimilate with Earth, the difference between natural-born Saiyans and fucking what Goku actually had to go through, nature versus nurture, all of it. To the point of Goku putting the entire Saiyan race on his back to the people who he owed nothing. The first interaction with Saiyans was them coming to Earth, kidnapping his fucking child, and threatening to blow it up. But dude still felt that sense of Saiyan pride, but yet his nurture on Earth to be there for fucking Grandpa Gohan, bro. It's peak as fuck. And then Dragon Ball Super is just like, the universe is in danger. We gotta defend it. Suck my dick. Like,
No, totally agree. I fucking and it's like yeah, and it's like I remember when I had first finished Dragon Ball Z and started Super, and I was like, yo, this shit buns, and people were like trying to flame me for saying that, and I'm just like, bro, this shit is just not good. I'm sorry. Like, is it cool? Sure. Is there aura? I guess, but this doesn't come close to the shit that I just got done reading.
What's like when we talked about like Naruto and Boruto, where like you end at such a high note, and then you come into the next thing, and if you're at a 9 out of 10, and you come in and it's a 7, you feel kind of disappointed.
Right.
Like even if it's good, it feels like it's been a letdown. Which, to be fair, Two Blue Vortex has been fucking buns. It was, I think I dropped it like at the Sarada and the prince or the fucking class president being like, we both love Boruto, and I was like, I'm fucking out of here, dude. I can't fucking do this anymore. I'm
I'm
20
done with
chapters
this
in.
shit, bro. Yeah.
I'm not reading 40 pages of ass for this.
to get to
This
like
is what
one
we got
page
to.
Is good. Yep.
I was like, dude, what the fuck is going on? Not trying to shit on,
Dude,
on Naruto and Boruto here with Burns gone. That feels a little blasphemous.
I'm
But I
fucking
feel like
sorry.
he'd agree that string of pages was fucking terrible.
I feel like JJK Modulo actually does a good job of taking like the heights that JJK was at the end and kind of just pushing it right through. I know it got a lot of people being like, "Oh, it's just a copy of Boruto, whatever," but they got into the shit.
It's better.
like,
Oh, it's
right
so, it's
away.
it's
In 2
infinitely
seconds.
better.
Now
Because
listen,
it's actually asking an interesting question, where it's the idea like where JJK's like greatest feat as a series is like with the whole Maki thing and like killing her entire clan. The whole lesson of JJK is there an apparatus in the past that is holding all of us back from actually evolving? And is there like Kenjaku becomes the idea of like the bastardized like version of that, like the evolution for the sake of it, versus Yuji being essentially the fist that like drives everything forward, and the people around him being motivated by him moving forward. And like Gojo's kind of the center of it before Yuji really takes stage, like the center stage. But at the same time, that's the premise of JJK. Like there's actually like a really cool story in there. And then when you get to Modulo, It's an actual refugee alien group that is kind of scary. The idea of refugees are scary for most people. And the lack of like the whole time, like I've argued with people in my comments so many fucking times about this. If somebody showed up at your house and was like, dude, like everything's fucked, like I need help, I really need help. And the whole time you have like a shotgun pointed at their head and you're like, you better not try and kill me while you do this. And of course they're going to be on edge. Of course they're going to be a bit more angsty with this whole situation. And that's Modulo the entire time. Is like everybody's pointing a gun at each other and nobody wants to actually chat this whole thing out and figure out what's going on. The humans aren't being honest with the aliens. The aliens aren't being being honest with the humans. And I'm hoping my goat Yuji with some fists full of black lightning comes and fixes everything.
Dude, that last fucking... Did you see the leaks for 20?
No, I had it spoiled for me and I'm pissed. So now anytime I have something spoiled for me, I wait till Sunday.
I'm fucking crying. Yeah, but Yuji's gonna use domain expansion talk no jutsu, bro. He doesn't do this in the chapter. That's not a spoiler. I'm just... That's my prediction, is that it's gonna be like a Dabura type shit. Like, if Yuji's gonna pull up and he's gonna be like, yo, what's going on here, dog? Like, domain expansion, come chat with me at the fucking train station. Like what do we...
Please don't kill my grandniece.
Yeah, what the
so
fuck
that
is
we
happening,
can like can we figure this whole thing out? Because there is like all the underlying themes of like the aliens can actually fix the problem of cursed spirits on Earth. And I can't remember the amount of fucking fake Gege quotes going around that Modulo is or is not canon. And I actually can't figure it out anymore. Like, I cannot get a clear fucking
I would
answer
say
if
it
this shit
probably is, because what about it would mess with the canon of actual JJK? You know what I mean? It's not like it's a separate timeline. It's not like it takes place during the events of JJK where it's like a separate... Where they say this is a separate timeline or a what-if series. It just takes place after. You know what I mean? So there's nothing about it or that has been said in it that makes me believe it's not canon. Maybe something will happen. Everybody loves their stories of... You've been in a genjutsu the whole time, so this is actually going to be reset, and none of this was real in the first place. All the fucking fan theories about, no, Madara actually had everybody in a genjutsu the whole time, so Boruto's not real. Like, just say it's bad. Like, that's all you gotta say, bro. Just say you wish it never happened. Like, you don't gotta beat around the bush and be like, oh my god, he's gonna be a brilliant... I hate that shit so much. Oh my god, fucking Kishimoto's gonna be a brilliant writer because... Or it's not Kishimoto who's writing Boruto, I forget who the fuck it is.
Ikimoto?
Yeah, Ikimoto. Is going to turn around...
Is he still doing 2BB? I thought Kishimoto took back over the writing.
Nah, Ikimoto is doing it. Kishimoto actually said, like... Yeah, pretty sure Kishimoto was like, yeah, this is not even my story anymore. Like, I have, like, no involvement.
You didn't turn around and be like, oh, he was the most brilliant writer because you turned around and said it was actually Madara in the Infinite Tsukiyomi. This is what Naruto wanted to see in his future. And it's like, what's the point of that? A whole entire story.
So then we go back to, like, what? We go back to what, Naruto vs. Madara?
Yeah, like, what's the point? Because that's just...
We have to fix the 4th grade Shinobi War. We have to do it again.
In my opinion,
so that
that's
Rock Lee gets the 8th gate. This is my point the whole time.
Yeah, so Rock Lee's actually been the main character of Naruto the whole time. Because what's the theme of Naruto? Naruto, hard work beats talent. You're absolutely correct, dog.
Bro, no, it's just because when Naruto passed out in the first Valley of the End fight after fighting Sasuke, everything afterwards was just a dream that he had while he was asleep. He's gonna wake up and we're still gonna be back in part 1 Naruto.
Or people turn around about One Piece and being like, actually Luffy is just Joy Boy who traveled to the future. Literally die. Never suggest anything ever again. Never give me a theory about One Piece ever again, Goldfram. So I have not seen you say that, if that's a theory or anything like that. So
I would... No.
That would be such fucking cheeks writing. What are we doing? Just rolling it back again? Is that what you guys want? It's just, oh, this is Joy Boy from 800 years ago. I like the fact of the pre-established passing down of wills because, I don't know, that's been in the story for 1,000 fucking chapters. Like, I like the fact that Luffy's not necessarily a direct reincarnation of Joy Boy, but Joy Boy's a name and a title of a person, and that this is what this generation needs right now, is that this person who takes on the mantle of Joy Boy to liberate the present. You know what I mean? It just frustrates me so much about people like, yeah, I cooked this fan theory about Joy Boy, that Luffy is Joy Boy from the past. Shut the fuck up. Shut your mouth. Shut your dirty mouth. Oh my god, bro. Yeah, ND, don't fucking give me no. In the I'm trying to start real fucking beef. I'm not falling for that shit, bro. Give me a few weeks, and then we'll get back to you rage baiting me. Like, Jesus.
I mean, when you really think about it, I mean, we have already seen like time travel low key with Momonosuke, so I mean, it could potentially maybe.
We've already seen you shutting the fuck up. That's what that shit is, bro. Like, yeah, sure, we see Momonosuke being sent to the future, but like that shit makes sense. Is that so he can like live? You know what I mean?
Yeah, his mom died. Didn't
he? Don't. Yeah, she did. She died on the night of Kaido and fucking like Orochi taking over. Yeah, she was crazy, bro. Yeah,
but yo, circling back to JJK, the question I have for Golfer and Nerd King is. Do y'all think? Okay, is Maki killing the Zenin clan supposed to be viewed as a good thing? Like when you think about it, because when I think about it, right? Like of course, outside of the aura and the coolness, isn't necessarily supposed to be viewed as like she did the right thing, or is it supposed to be viewed as a more complex thing where it's like a lot of it came from a place of like vendetta, a lot of it came from a place of like hatred and revenge, and not necessarily from a place of like doing the right thing? Because I don't know, I feel like. Especially in manga, there's the theme of like reforming systems, changing clans, and I'm thinking like this in context of Naruto, where there's like on one hand we have the Uchiha clan massacre, but then on the other hand we have the Hyuga clan that was reformed by the end of the series, like, and it's like yeah, we can say that yeah, like the Zenin clan was evil, yes they were like misogynistic, yes they were like oppressive in all types of horrible ways and did all kinds of horrible things, but at the end of the day, Maki did do a genocide, so like so what do you make of that?
I think, at least in my opinion, it's like, of course it's fucking badass, but I don't think the actions that some of the characters take, like, Gojo wipes out all the elders. And, like, yeah, they're fucking terrible. And the system of Jujutsu within that world sucks. Is it justified to just flat out genocide all these people? I think Gojo has a bit more justification to do what he does. And, like, the Maki clan, or the Zenin clan, is absolutely fucking abhorrent. But I don't think Gege wanted it to be clear-cut, like, yes, these people were so cartoonishly evil that it is 100% morally justified to just wipe out the entire clan. She's essentially, like, taking on the burden of all of this is absolutely terrible, and I'm just going to go ahead and bear the weight of that. Like, I've taken on the heavenly restriction of this clan to be strong enough to hold all of this on my shoulders. The right and the wrong aspects of it. Are there members of that clan that could have been reformed? That's not a question JJK is like wanting to ask. It's purely that universe has no time for reformation. It is everything is eyes forward, and if it takes nuking an entire clan to get this done, because she fucking nukes the people that deserved it. But we don't even really see, and it's never even really mentioned off screen what actually happens to the rest of the Zenin clan. But we know it's not around anymore. Like, and then Yuta takes over the Gojo clan after the series is over. So like, it all like really consolidates to be something that gets past the systems that have been created. And
I guess what I was trying to understand, like when I was having this conversation with my friend, is like, what is like the message of like what is the takeaway from like Maki killing the clan? And it's like, and I feel like you kind of like I'm gonna let Nerd King speak a little bit. I feel like you guys kind of already started speaking on it. Like what is like the takeaway of that? Because I know, for example, like, and I'm kind of circling back to like the Uchiha clan massacre, right? Like, we're not obviously it's like nuance, right? We're not really supposed to look at it as Itachi did the right thing or the wrong thing. It's like it just depends on how you look at it. But the overall is that the system was corrupt and Itachi was forced into a situation that he shouldn't have been in, So it's like, or even when we look at like, I don't know, like Sasuke pulling up to the 5 Kage summon. If Sasuke had killed all the Kage, would that have been like the right thing to do? I don't know. I mean, does he have a justification for wanting to like kill the Kage, for setting up and being like in charge of the systems that are complicit to all these like the trauma that he experienced? I mean, yes, but would that have been the right thing? Like, is the author telling us that is the right thing? I don't necessarily understand that they are. So What do you make of that?
So a couple things. One with like the Naruto stuff, because you compared it to the Naruto, the Hyuga, and the Uchiha
Uchiha.
clan.
Yeah.
The Hyuga, like, there's reformation in Naruto, and I think that's a lot of
Yeah.
the like kind of themes and things. Is I was talking about how I made a video about the difference between One Piece and like Naruto, how Naruto's more liberal and One Piece is more leftist, because One Piece the systems get taken down and there's no like sorrow about it. There's no trying
Yeah.
to reform the systems. These systems were built on corruption, so Luffy takes them down. Or not Luffy, but like Luffy liberates those who are like on his path, who needs liberation, and Dragon is taking the systems down. Whereas Naruto is more about reformation. And somebody was like, because the systems in Naruto have the ability to be reformed, whereas the systems in
Yeah.
One Piece don't. The systems in One Piece are like cartoonishly evil. The systems in
Yeah.
Naruto are a little bit more like nuanced in like everything that happens. And you kind of see that with the Hyuga clan. With Neji's like the first person who see that, like the weight of the Hyuga clan kind of take like formation onto him and his thoughts and beliefs in the fight with Naruto. Whereas in
Yeah.
that fight, he gets reformed right there. And I think Neji is a symbol of the rest of the Hyuga clan, where the Hyuga clan can be reformed. That entire clan can be reformed because you see Neji and everything that he believes, and he's reformed right then and there. I think that's Kishimoto trying to tell us that this is something that could happen. They don't need to just be all flat out fucking murdered. You know what I mean? Like, they were
Right.
bound by hard principles, but those principles can be changed because you have somebody like Naruto who changes the hidden leaf. Whereas the Uchiha clan, Itachi was, in my opinion, he was a victim of the state, and the state had him do a horrible thing. And however, with us and all Marines are evil and turning around and like having that, you know what I mean? Itachi still had a choice in the matter. I know he saved Sasuke. He could have not massacred the Uchiha and fought with them. Now, which is the right choice? It's supposed to be a gray area where you're not
Right.
supposed to be like, this is the right choice, this is the wrong choice. Where it's like Itachi was kind of, his mind was molded to do what the state wanted, and then by the state being Danzo and the higher ups in the Hidden Leaf. So it's like, I don't think the Uchiha clan could have been massacred, or should have been massacred the entire time. I think there was another solution that could have happened instead of everybody just dying. And I think Sasuke is the person to show that the Uchiha clan could have been reformed. He did all of those things, but at the end, it went towards reformation because of Naruto. Naruto's that case for reformation. Now spinning back to JJK with Maki never attacked anybody in the Zenin clan, at least with what we've seen, who didn't attack her first, besides her mother. Everybody went to fight Maki first. Her
But
fucking
I feel
brother-
like that's a ridiculous claim, because if someone shows up to the clan and just starts killing people, yeah, we're gonna
She
try and
did-
stop her.
She did it.
Her mom also
father-
deserved it.
Her
like,
mom, yeah, true.
Her mom
1000%.
walked her and Mai into the death trap.
Maki pulled up to get the tools from the Zenin clan. She did not pull up to kill anybody. She pulled up to grab the tools and just get the fuck out and be like, yo, Megumi's the head of this clan. I have the right to take these tools. He gave me the okay. I'm taking these because we need these for the Culling Games. We need these to actually deal with motherfuckers and like to deal with Kenjaku and everything that's happening. They threw her in the fucking pit in the basement with the cursed spirits because her father was like, you don't deserve to live. And then after that, Maki
wanted
just
the head of
left.
the Zenin clan,
He
too.
turned around and was like, yo, I'm chopping your head. He was like, I'm fucking killing you right here because you didn't die. And then everybody who was out the hay, they all attacked her first. And she was just acting in self-defense. Naoya, all of them went to kill Maki. And Maki just reacted and was like, you want hands? I'm gonna take you a step further.
But
and fucking kill
the
you.
rest of the people she hunted down, that's not self-defense, dog.
Well, it's, you don't see her hunt down anybody else. She just hunts down the mother, and then the statement after is the Zenin clan is not one of the big three houses anymore, but not necessarily like how Kid died in One Piece, or not died, but how they said the Kid pirates were obliterated that day after what happened with Shanks. You just hear that the Zenin clan is not one of the big three anymore. You don't
There's
hear
no-
everybody's dead or the Zenin clan was obliterated. You just
But
hear
wasn't
that
it
they're
stated?
not
Wasn't
a
it stated that
house.
there was like 22 others that weren't there that were found dead, aka Maki killed them? Like,
I
Let
don't
me double check that.
Golfer, give me
But-
that. That's not me being like, oh, I don't know if I'm wrong. I genuinely have no idea. Like,
Okay.
I genuinely don't.
'Cause
And,
at least from, especially with just like a series like JJK, it never, like, it's kind of all gas, no brakes. So it's one of those things where, like, if something like that did happen, like, you kind of forget it by the time that you finish the
deadass,
series.
yeah. And with me talking about that, it's like the Zenin clan and what they did to Maki was like awful, but she didn't go there that day in a planned out like, let me obliterate the entire clan. You know what I mean? She
Okay,
didn't
fair
pull up
enough.
and was like, let me eliminate everybody that's here. This is my job in going here that day. It kind of just evolved in that whole thing in self-defense and also revenge for her sister. Like, I absolutely will say that 1000% was a thing. So I think the theme of it, like how it happens in One Piece and a lot of the systems get taken down, you're supposed to see that the system is bad. I think you're supposed to see in everything that happened with Maki that Maki was treated horribly by her clan, that
Hmm.
she had a right to act in the self-defense way that she did. Hunting down her mother is necessarily that she deserved it, and I think Gege took the time to not have her, or at least see us go after everybody else, because he's trying to show that like Maki's kind of justified in her actions, you know what I mean? And I feel like the verbiage in that she didn't, or that the Zenin clan was taken down from one of the three houses and not everybody died, was purposefully put there.
And there
Okay.
is the whole the rest of the Zenin clan is murdered page, which there's a couple ways to interpret that, in the sense that either they get murdered because they are no longer like a top clan, and the protection, kind of like the idealism of protection, is like gone
Mhm.
from them. And can you put that on Maki? Because like we see Maki
Yeah,
like the
yeah.
rest of the culling games, like we, at least the way JJK moves, we don't get a whole lot of dates until a certain fight happens, but it's not like she's gone for 3 weeks and then all of a sudden she shows back up and is like, I've done everything I need to do. Like everything kind of keeps moving. At least the way I interpret it is the rest of the clan was essentially on their own, and like the world is getting their retribution on them. Now, again, is that right? Is that like a morally justified move? I don't think there's anything in JJK that is morally justified other than basically Yuji's actions. Like there's
Fair.
there's nobody in that series that is a
Morally
truly
pure.
morally justified character.
100%. I agree with
Like
you.
Gojo fails in a million different ways. We see the downfall of Geto.
No, but Gojo's stronger, bro.
Gojo stronger,
No,
Sukuna
but
smarter.
Gojo's stronger than
Gojo
Sukuna,
stronger,
right?
Sukuna smarter.
Yeah,
Um,
1000%.
No, nobody's morally justified because the entire the whole paint. I feel like it's the painting of the idea, and there's a part of me that feels like the way that the Jujutsu Society is painted is supposed to be like traditionalism in Japan.
Right.
Is the idea of like conformity within Japan, of like no matter what's going on, you kind of keep pressing forward, even if everything's kind of fucking stupid. Like it, at least from what I have read, of the idea of working 16-hour days because your boss is there all day, and just the way that traditionalism works into their interpersonal relationships. Like this is fucking stupid. And if someone just got rid of it one day, even if it was by nasty means, everybody else would be better off for it.
Fair.
And so at least that's how I choose to interpret it. There's probably people smarter than me that have other ways to see it. And hopefully we see those one day, and not more Gojo stronger, Sukuna smarter.
You're 100% right. I'm sobbing. And I think what a lot of at least like well done anime have shown is that a lot of the times it's the higher ups, like how Gojo eliminated the elders, or not necessarily the people that the systems have been affecting, even the people who agree with the higher ups, perchance, because they have been like subject to all of this propaganda. You know what I mean? It's been such like a well done thing to like propagandize the population in order to get support for like those things to happen. You know what I mean? And that's why like the Maki feel like Maki and the Zenin clan is like such a well done thing. Again, because you don't see her like massacring the common folk of the Zenin clan, the lower person. You don't see her doing anything to women and children. You can speculate that she did whatever, but like that's what's shown, is that it falls on the shoulders of the higher ups. One Piece does a really good job of that, is that it falls on the shoulders of the higher ups. Even the people who agree with the Marines, like that's Marine propaganda working at its best. You know what I'm saying? Kind of happens in real life too, but
A little bit. I gotta use the restroom real quick. I'll be right back.
Okay, my mouth's open. You know what I'm saying?
So if-
like,
if we were to apply that logic to like One Piece, for example, right? Like, do you think like if I don't know, like let's say like Shanks were to like kill like I don't know, it's like the Celestial Dragons, like just like all of them, just like go back to Marijuana and just like fucking kill all of them, like, or maybe not all of them, maybe like or like the like I don't know the highest ranking Celestial Dragons or something. Like, would you say that like would that same logic be able to be applied to One Piece, or do you think that One Piece doesn't like have that doesn't ask that same kind of question?
No, I think it would be applied, and I think Shanks would be justified. I think that's what's gonna happen. Is they're either gonna be in prison
Really?
or like killed. Yeah, like Dragon's gonna do some shit like that, and I think it would be justified. And One Piece, like the Celestial Dragons, are cartoonishly evil, bro.
Yeah.
And it's supposed to like give you the parallels to real life, where you look at these people and you're like, nobody could ever do that, and then you see it happening in real life.
And then they're
Somebody
literally doing
being
it like right now.
cartoonishly evil, and it's like,
Yeah.
oh, but. I feel like if Shanks did it, it would be justified because we've only ever seen one Celestial Dragon who has been a halfway morally decent human being, and he died from it, from Figolin Garling, whatever, executed him, like,
Yeah.
for, like, helping another Celestial Dragon, or helping a slave, like, escape from a Celestial Dragon. The rest of them have had, like, Charlos's demeanor, Charlos's political viewings, and everything like that. Whereas if Dragon or Shanks turned around and murked every single one of them, I think in that sense, with the way it's been built up, you're supposed to turn around and be like, this is their fate, and they absolutely deserve it for all of the fucking hell that they put everybody through. You know what I mean? And that's the difference between like One Piece and everything else, is that the political system doesn't really have nuance, and this is why I cannot believe people think it's not political, because it's not supposed to be something you're supposed to.
But I guess the way that I would challenge that a little bit, in the sense that like I feel like throughout One Piece, when we've seen like Luffy like destroy like these like people who are like oppressing people, like Luffy only really like attacks like the top dog. Like he's not like destroying like them and then their entire crew and then they're like all like all their subordinate. You know what I mean?
No, agreed. And the Celestials are the top dogs in this. Like, all of the Celestial Dragons are the top dogs, like, in this situation. Like, he's not gonna fucking murder what's his face, Captain Kuro's fucking chore boy that's in the back seat. You know, he's not gonna punch him in the face. But when you take down the head,
I guess like when I apply
like,
if I apply it to Celestial Dragons, like let's say like Shanks, for example, what like the way that I would see it would be maybe like Shanks would take out like Imu and the Gorosei, I don't know, and then like maybe like the God's Knights, and then just like take away all the political power of like the Celestial Dragons, so then they literally just become the common folk, as opposed to like literally just like going full Itachi on them.
Well, yeah, I feel like both of those would be like acceptable, but I just think with the actual Celestial Dragons, like the ones who like have slaves and shit, I feel like there's gonna be some sort of consequence within the One Piece world. Are they gonna die? Who
Maybe
knows?
like a slave rebellion, like
Yeah, that they're gonna end up beating the shit out of those people, or like arrested or something like that. But I feel like with them, like, a punishment is gonna happen. I feel like killing would be justified. I'm sorry, but like if they die,
fair. I just kind of feel like I don't know. I just kind of feel I just if that were to happen, I can see Teach doing that. I just can't see like Luffy or Shanks doing it.
I
that
for sure
fucking
see
that
Teach
fucking
doing
panel
that.
of Teach having all the Celestial Dragons up on the crosses like they did on
Yeah.
the movie with Wano. If
The fan
Teach does
art?
that would be he genuinely would be my number one villain in like the history of everything. That's not a joke. Like if he murked the Celestial Dragons like that, I wouldn't even think fucking twice about that.
Because there's always been the argument, and like
God Valley tournament in Marijois.
Oh my God.
well, especially with like when All Marines Are Evil was really popping off, and the way it was stated by a lot of people was like on an interpersonal level there is nuance, on a systematic level there is no nuance. And so it was like, yes, we can talk about the failings of Kobe, but like at Kobe's core, he truly does want good things. He is just completely like misaligned. And then it's the same thing with like Smoker and Fujitora and all these different characters that we've met. It's like, does every Marine deserve to be put to the cross? Probably not, right? Akainu is like we're going to put him up there and then judge them against Akainu. It's every Celestial Dragon we have ever seen, other than Doflamingo's family and then the guy who saves Weepy Hoshi at Marijois. They've done nothing but whip slaves. That is the only thing we have ever seen them do. So it's like really hard to give them that benefit of doubt. To look at them and be like, on a personal level, can we judge you? And it's like, well, every time we've seen you do literally fucking anything, you're the most evil person on the entire planet. Like, you've done nothing but the most abhorrent shit we've seen in the One Piece world.
Cartoonishly evil.
Cartoonishly evil.
Cartoonishly evil. And I think I genuinely think it's supposed to be that way. So that there's no, like, and I, like...
Because there's cartoonishly evil people in our world.
Yep.
Like, the parallel in the system of, like ultra-wealthy people and the people that have held power for generations, they are legitimately cartoonishly evil.
Well,
they have
bro,
access to information that, like, they are nuking the planet by making themselves wealthier, but that does not matter.
They
like,
just don't care.
Making themselves wealthier is all that matters. Because, like, by the time they die, well, the planet won't be too bad by that point, and so they get to enjoy their yacht for the next 60 years and be as wealthy and powerful as possible. That's somebody else's problem. So, like, the level of cartoonishly evilness that we experience in our own world, is that being, like, represented with the Celestial Dragons? And, like, is our angst and frustration and anger at them going to be translated through them?
But I also kind of feel like, in, like, a weird way, like, real life is more cartoonishly evil than cartoons, because I feel like even in the One Piece verse, like, there is that general understanding, like, the average person still views Celestial Dragons as scum. Like, the average person still, like, hates Celestial Dragons, even though they might not say it for fear of retribution. Like, they're no one, like, the average One Piece civilian is not looking at Celestial Dragons as, like, their saviors, but there are people in real life who are unironically working minimum wage defending billionaires. So, like,
and that's the whole point about these stories, is that you're supposed to look at it and be like, these people are wrong, and be able to make the connection to real life for yourself. Like, genuinely, it's not that hard to understand. And then it's the people who don't understand that turn around and say there's no politics in One Piece, when the villain is literally the billionaire slave owner. What are we what are we yapping about here? But you also don't understand is that in real life, when you kick a car while federal agents are arresting somebody who shouldn't be arrested, you should be allowed to be shot because you kicked a car
in the back.
And
9 times.
Did you not? Yeah, of course, absolutely. Did you not that's kind of what or if you drive away at 3 miles an hour to the right of a federal agent, you should be allowed to be mowed down in your car, obviously, because there's no politics in One Piece. It doesn't matter. The Celestial Dragons aren't real, bro. It doesn't matter.
That was the whole point of All Marines Are Evil.
But you can't say all Marines are evil, because just like you can't say all Ice Agents are evil. Because what about the Ice Agent in the East Blue who's just doing paperwork? Like, what about him?
What about the guy? What about the guy not in Minnesota, just the janitor? No, that's the whole point. Is that state violence is inherently wrong. Like, the idea that somebody that can, because, like, the local police, the state police, the Department of Homeland Security, like, everybody's trying to, like, investigate what happened to Alex Preddy, and they're just not allowed to. They're just being stonewalled out. We still don't know that guy's name. We knew Derek Chauvin's name within an hour. We still don't know this guy's name.
Insane. We haven't seen the body.
Who literally killed a civilian in cold blood.
There's no body cam footage, and it's
there's
illegal
no body cam footage.
You have to have your body cam on when making arrests. We don't have the body. This guy
and
died.
They had no
a
reasons to make
ago.
an arrest. They had no reasons to make an
reason
arrest.
at all.
They had zero reason. People were protesting, exercising their freedom of assembly, their freedom of speech, and it's the reason we went so hard on that was that, like, you need to judge state violence with, like, the most critical lens, because you are going to have bootlickers justifying it. Like, you have to go as hard against them, if not harder, because they will win because they have the state behind them. Right. That's, like, the hardest part, is that at the end of the day, either they need to be tried in the court of public opinion, or they're never going to be tried.
Ever.
And, like, ever. That guy more than likely at this point, because we still don't know his name, unless somebody leaks that information, is going to get off scot-free.
Well, I mean, did you see the rest of the files that got released today?
Oh, yeah, and I mean, I mean,
But what's so
Dude,
crazy is
what
that
the fuck?
there's nothing that's gonna be in the new files that's good that any MAGA person is gonna look at and be like, oh yeah, this is the reason why I switch up. Like
Oh,
no,
yeah.
they don't care.
Not even at all.
there's gonna be like 6 dudes ever that have switched up because of those files. Like, it's gonna be the smallest amount of people, and don't you worry, MSNBC will talk to them, and that is who we need to placate all votes towards.
Dude, he fucking turned around yesterday and said, I don't want to make houses cost less. I want to make them cost more because if you're rich, you should be able to hold on to the property value of your house. And MAGA's like, yeah, that makes complete sense, obviously. Brother, you literally elected this man because he said he would make all your shit cheaper. And he just said he's going to make it more expensive. And you're like, yeah, I want to hold on to the property value of my house. I want it to go up. You're never fucking buying one. You're never
The dude
buying
could
a
literally be
house.
like, could literally just be like, you know what? I think all my supporters should die, and people would still come on here
So
and defend
frustrating.
it.
Is it gonna make America great again? I'm all for it.
Just
As long as
before-
it's not me. That's their thing. All of you can die as long as it's not me.
Until it ends up being them.
Right.
Until it ends up being them. And before we go, because we're at a fucking hour already, but I was having a conversation with somebody about vaccines the other day, because of course I was. And they turned around, we were talking about COVID vaccines, and he was like, COVID vaccines don't work. And I'm like, you're a fucking idiot. Of course they do. What are you talking about? They don't work. And I was like, you have the science. They have millions of people who took the vaccine and millions of people who didn't. And you're more likely to die if you did not take the vaccine versus if you did. And he's like, no, correlation doesn't equal causation. I'm like, you don't even know what the fuck that means. If there's five people who didn't take the vaccine versus 5 people who did, then maybe I would understand your point. But you're talking about hundreds of millions of fucking people. This is not a
And
opinion.
it's not even-
It's
it's-
fact.
We're
It's
not even looking-
fucking fact.
But what's
Correlation
crazy
doesn't
is that
equal
we're not even looking at, it's not even just the number of people who did take the vaccine versus didn't take, like we literally know the mechanism by which bacterial infections infect cells.
oh
We know
my
how
God.
we know how cells are killed through the process of infection, and we know how vaccines prevent that. Like we have the scientific mechanism by which it happens. It's not even about correlation.
Yeah, it's not an opinion. And then I told bro, I turned around and then he tried to say to me, you're gonna get heart inflammation if you take the vaccine, you know that, right? And I said, you're more likely to get heart inflammation, 42 times more likely to get heart inflammation if you get the disease versus if you take the vaccine. And then he Googled his phone and shut the fuck up. Because you don't do any fucking research. You hear one scientist say some shit on a far-right podcast, and he's totally, what his opinions are, totally go against what the scientific community has said. And you don't listen to the thousands of scientists who say that you're fucking wrong because you want to be proven right. It pisses me off so fucking much. You're arguing fact as opinion. That's not a thing.
My thing is, at the end of the day, is that like I work a 9 to 5 where I don't do any type of virology, and then I yap about anime and manga online. I'm not gonna pretend like I'm smarter than somebody who's spent their entire life doing this. Like it, and I don't know if you guys have ever met some like I went to high school with some like genuine, real deal nerds. Like some guys that were just real into math, real into biology, real into this, that went to prestigious universities, and some of them are probably working for the CDC now. I'm gonna trust Grant that he's getting this stuff figured out, and I don't need to worry about it. I'm gonna worry about what's going on at my 9 to 5. I'm gonna trust them. And whatever Joe Rogan is saying, I'm not going to fucking listen to. Because that man has taken 1,000 punches to the dome. Why would I ever listen to anything he said other than it was real crazy watching people eat bull testicles? Like, that's the only thing I need to hear you talk about. How that guy got punched in the fucking head and got knocked out. How people ate bull testicles and how it's real cool to smoke weed. He made it to 100 million active listeners off of doing that, and then he decided to start talking about fucking politics and move into my city. Fuck off. I don't need you here. We don't need you anywhere around here. Shut the fuck up.
And then the dude who I was arguing with, no, Golfer, you said I'm going to trust the virologist. He turned around and said, well, we should all listen to the virologists, right? Like, being genuine. That the virologists are right. So they disagree with you. So why are you disagreeing with them? What are you talking about?
I absolutely love how there seems this is related to like the moon landing and like these apparatuses that have 1.5 million people working for them somehow can keep a conspiracy theory
in multiple different
completely
countries
under wraps.
over the course of multiple decades.
3 people that weren't Bill Clinton knew that Bill Clinton got a blowjob under the desk, and that got out within hours. Are you fucking kidding me? There's nothing on this planet that can truly be kept that under wraps that doesn't require the CIA killing people.
If vaccines weren't a mind control fucking device, which is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard in my entire life, we would know about it in 30 seconds. Dude, you think they would let a viral pandemic get out and try to mind control people? Like they can't make money off of you if you are dead. That's why they rushed the vaccine and put it through such funding and everything, because they need you alive so they can keep you as a fucking worker, bro. They're not trying to kill you or mind control you with the vaccine. They can't make money off of you or make more money if the consumer is dead. So they need you alive, and they're gonna sell you more products after they give you the vaccine, because then you're gonna be alive longer in order to get more shit. It's as simple as that. There's no
What's crazy
bro.
is like, oh, they're trying to mind control with the vaccine. They don't need the vaccine, bro. They're already mind controlling your dumbass.
Bro,
because we
fucking
wouldn't be having this conversation if it weren't.
You're mind controlled, dog. You're mind controlled.
Bro, they just tweak the algorithm and you are fucked. Like, you get soft introed into calling people the R slur, and suddenly you're like an alt-right fascist. Like, I've seen it happen to people in real time.
You
like,
listen
it
to
takes no time at all.
Nick Fuentes, bro. You're good.
You see one clip where Nick Fuentes has like a half-right opinion, and then suddenly you're like a fascist. Like, it happens. It's that quick.
I saw a video. Well, we're about to leave. I'm not gonna keep y'all for any long. It's an hour and 6. I'm enjoying the yap. It's been too long. I saw a video where some dude was like, if I was president of the United States, he's like a far right guy, and this is what I would do: repeal the 19th Amendment because women are too emotional to vote. Roll back civil rights because we need to keep people separate again. Like, all of this shit. Like, get rid of abortion. And the comments were like agreeing with him and being like, this is I would vote for you. We are fucked. We're so fucked. All of you are 1000% app. You're telling me women are too emotional. The first point, women are too emotional to vote. Brother, you were on here saying women are too emotional to vote. You sat down, pointed a camera at yourself and said you want to roll back the 19th because women are too emotional to vote. Who the fuck is emotional, dog? I'm gonna need you to shut the fuck up and like take it back. And the fact that thousands of people like that post scared the shit out of me. Like, the mind control is already done. There doesn't need to be a secret government fucking drone drilling your head with signals or a chip put in fucking the vaccine in order to make you do what the government wants. You're doing exactly what they fucking want every second of your fucking life. You're on your knees for a billionaire. You believe the words of the richest man in fucking America. No, I'm sorry. The second richest man of America, by saying that he was gonna make your groceries cheaper, and then you had the richest man in America backing him off of his fucking bot-filled social media fucking app and being like, yeah, no, this guy is right because the left is ruining America. And then every other billionaire was like, yes, correct, we're gonna make groceries cheaper. You're a chud. You're a mind-controlled piece of shit chud. And you literally got on your knees for billionaires believing that they were going to make you fucking richer. You absolute piece of fucking dog shit.
You heard it here first, folks. All Admiral fans on Twitter are bots.
Yeah, suck my
Elon's paying for them. They're all Russian bots.
For the Akainu agenda. Elon
I've never seen them have a picture of themselves ever. They're for sure bots.
Oh, they're 1000% bots, bro. Or they're doing
never had a video, never posted a picture of themselves.
Deadass. All right, that's 1:08. We're gonna call it right there. Yo. Listen, Gopher, next time we have you on as a guest, the first thing that we're gonna do is do our worst One Piece Pirate Crew drafts. We're gonna do that shit right away because I feel like we could go on tangents for literally 5 hours while talking on this fucking podcast. So be on the lookout for Golfer as another guest, brother. You're our most had guest on here. We love having you.
I'm
You're
running
more
up
than
the
Quadruple
score
Nexus.
at this point.
Get it.
I am running up the score at this point.
Type shit. Quadruple Nexus. Yeah. All right, I'm Nerd Daddy. That's Golfer. That's ND. Thank y'all so much for joining us on the podcast. Be on the lookout for the next couple weeks. Obviously, we're going to keep on making podcast videos for you every single week. Hope you guys take care. Have a good rest of your week. And remember, Trump supporters are fucking chuds. Peace out.